What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another video. So today we actually have some more big news because everything is starting today. We're now starting to see lawmakers are going to fight over the new spending bill. This could mean major increases are on the table. This could also mean there's some cuts that could be on the way. And I want to address what's going on as of right now. But let's make it very clear. Some lawmakers say, let's add the child tax credits back into this. Let's make it a monthly payment and let's make it permanent. That's what many lawmakers are demanding. We have other lawmakers that say, no, we need to increase border security and we need to increase funding for the U.S. military. That should take priority over a tax credit to the American people. And then we got other lawmakers that say, no, let's forget all that. Let's just reduce spending at all costs. But who's right? Well, they might all be right. But we will address that in just a minute. All I ask is if you can do me one favor, go ahead, hit that like button if you enjoy these daily updates, and let's begin. So the first thing I want to address is what is going on with Democrats and Republicans. First, they don't agree. And we knew this was coming. We knew it was going to happen, where Democrats and Republicans are not agreeing with where to start when it comes to the fiscal 2024 appropriations bills. Not even the House and Senate agree where to start. But that actually might not matter for too long. Here's the reason why. Normally what happens is they're trying to figure out who is going to propose the first bill. Is it going to be Republicans? Is it going to be Democrats? We don't know. But what we do know at this time is that the Senate is planning to address the appropriations bills this week. Okay? They're actually going to do markups on two of them. Now, Senate Democrats' plan is to keep spending levels at the agreed upon numbers that were passed in the Fiscal Responsibility Act. This was passed earlier on this month. This was the bill that ultimately suspended the debt ceiling until January 1st, 2025. But what does this mean? Well, here's what I can tell you. According to Senators Patty Murray and Susan Collins, they had this to say. They released this statement. They said, and I quote, "We have an obligation as members of Congress to work together to write and pass funding bills in a timely way that address key challenges our nation faces. And we are determined to ensure the Senate's voice is heard in this process." You know what happened in the Fiscal Responsibility Act? This is the bill that ultimately suspended the debt ceiling until January 1st, 2025. Well, the Senate's voice wasn't heard. This bill was actually negotiated by President Biden and Speaker Kevin McCarthy. So the Senate was nowhere to be found in this. Now, yes, some senators had a little bit of a voice, but not much. But the reason why I bring this up is actually pretty simple. The Senate wants their voices heard. They felt left out in the last bill, and so in this point, they're going to start the negotiations. This is why it's so important that we get this started soon. Because what's happening right now is both chambers are fighting, but they both have to pass the same bill. The only problem, though, is they're running out of time. In the Senate, they actually plan on skipping the subcommittee markups just so that they can expedite the process and hopefully, and this is their goal, hopefully get all 12 spending bills to the floor before their August recess. Here's the major issue. As of today, they have 12 days in session due to their 2-week recess for Independence Day. So because of that, they have to quickly rush, hopefully get this done so that they can vote on this before their August recess. So, how is this going to play out? Well, here's what we know. According to multiple reports, Democrats are not going to vote in favor of any bill that doesn't abide by the latest spending numbers. This is what I'm talking about with the Fiscal Responsibility Act. Now, even though Republicans say that the spending cap was simply a cap, it didn't mandate spending had to be at that level. Democrats all agree that, yes, they understand that this was a cap, but they all agree that they cannot vote in favor of a bill that accepts a smaller spending limit because it would set a terrible precedent moving forward. And I know you've heard me talk about terrible precedents in the past, but here's the thing. Democrats continue to set a bad precedent, and then they say for the next bill, we can't do that because that would set a terrible precedent. But yet they do it anyway. So we're going to see what happens. But they also say that this is why they are pushing for additional increases. That if Republicans can go back on their word, well, we can go back on ours. And if that means we're going to spend more and we're going to cut certain budgets, then we can do that. This is why they're talking about increases to SNAP benefits, Social Security benefits, Medicare, child tax credits, and so much more. Those are the main four: SNAP, Social Security, Medicare, and the child tax credits. Those are the four that they really want to include. So, what does this mean? Well, this could mean that they're going to attempt to get rid of the tax cuts that Republicans have favored for so long. Because the tax cuts that Republicans are favoring, yes, they actually cost us some money, but they also help with innovation, they help with businesses, they help with growth, right? And they help build the economy. So at this time, Democrats are saying, well, we could just cut those, just get rid of those tax cuts, then we can use that money and we can pay for other priorities like SNAP and Social Security and the child tax credits. But it doesn't stop there. Both parties are looking at the fiscal 2024 appropriations bills as their way of getting somewhat of a boost. And the boost is not for today, it's for the election in 2024. Which again this is part of the reason why some lawmakers believe a shutdown is almost in store and is almost a likely scenario, because they see a shutdown as even more likely than an agreement. But that's part of the problem, is if we shut down, who does that hurt? Well, it's going to hurt more Democrats than Republicans. This is why Democrats are really pushing to get a bill. But at the same time, this is where Republicans knew they've had Democrats in this corner for a little bit of time. Now they've agreed upon a spending cap, but now Republicans are saying, no, we're going to spend less than that. Well, guess what? Democrats are going to have to come out and just vote for it, because if they see the government is going to shut down, guess what? It's hurting Democrats more than Republicans, simply because of who's in office. A Democrat. Doesn't matter who. It's just the fact that he's a Democrat. But either way, here's what's going to happen. Republicans plan on spending less, and according to experts, this is going to happen. We are going to see Democrats have to vote in favor of a bill that spends less money simply because their back's against the wall. We also know Democrats' plan is to spend at the current spending cap, but that's seen as less likely now. And so we're going to see a vote. Chances are it's going to happen, towards the middle to end of September when they do vote on this. Okay? Just keep this in mind. There's likely to be some big surprises. Because right now, what we are hearing is that the American people simply have to stand by and wait and see what will ultimately be agreed to. But some experts believe that in order to see certain voters vote for them, they're going to have to give them something. But what? That's what we don't know. And we're all waiting to find out. But again, it's going to happen soon, because again, all this stuff happens today. We're going to see all this stuff start to play out today. We're going to have these markups on Wednesday and Thursday of this week. Hopefully we'll have, these bills will be on the floor, in the Senate by the end of this month. If this happens again, we don't know for sure, but this could be good news. Could be good news for the American people if we see additional increases and more relief that will go out to them. But at the same time, we don't know. There could also be cuts that would take away from other things, which means you might not receive all the benefits or all the boost that you were hoping to get. So, as we get more information as to what is going on here, I promise I will fill you in on all the latest news and updates. All you gotta do is two things. First off, hit the like button on this video. Also, click that subscribe button so you never miss an update. And I will see you guys on the next one.